little bit of Donald Trump. So here we are, Times front page and elsewhere. Trump is saying US will 100% stay in NATO if Europe plays fair. Let's have a look at what he actually said.
NATO has to treat the US fairly, because if it's not for the United States, NATO literally doesn't even exist. But they took advantage of us, like most countries do. The United States should pay its fair share, not everybody else's fair share.
No, fair enough.
I believe the United States was paying 90% of NATO, the cost of NATO. It could be 100%.
Yep.
It was the most unfair thing. And don't forget, it's more important to them than it is to us. We have an ocean in between some problems, okay? We have a nice, big, beautiful ocean. And it's more important for them. They were taking advantage, and they did. They took advantage of us on trade, and they took advantage on...
So if they play fair, if they start to play fair, America's there.
Yes, 100%.
But it suggests that America might decide to pull out of NATO in certain circumstances, Carol.
Well, what he's saying is basically if they don't pay their way. I mean, he said a stupid thing last month where he said he'd encourage Russia.
Last month?
It was last month.
No, okay, no. I was thinking yesterday, day before yesterday, last week.
No, he said a stupid thing where he said he would encourage Russia to attack NATO, any NATO country that failed to pay its way. However, I do see the point in there. You know, most countries are encouraged to pay 2% of their GDP. We pay more than that. We pay 2.28%. America pays 3.24%. And that's a lot of their GDP. So it's a lot of money and it's a lot of weapons they would be able to supply. So I get why he's cross at countries that are not paying their way, because America would be expected to come to their aid if there was a problem.
But I'm thinking he's really not wanting to get involved in the Third World War with Russia at all. And he sees it coming, doesn't he? Because he thinks they've taken Ukraine. I mean, everyone hopes that war changes direction, but at the moment it looks bad. What if they go into Lithuania? Does America then declare war on Russia?
Well, it depends if he's president, doesn't it? Because he's said that he could solve the war in Ukraine immediately within 24 hours if he was president, and that means by pulling out all support for Ukraine. You know, he is very much America first, isn't he? He doesn't want to be a statesman on the global stage. He's a terrible diplomat on the global stage. He's doing this kind of brinkmanship here to try and frighten people into paying their fair share. Countries should pay their fair share, but sort of threats is not necessirily the way to do it.
But he does say that there were no wars started under his presidency, and in fact Kim which is the young one? Kim Jong-un.
Exactly.
Kim Jong-un stopped doing all those nuclear tests because Trump said directly, I will blow you to smithereens.
No, he did that disgusting photo opportunity of kind of doing a PR exercise for a terrible dictator. You know, he thinks he's good at diplomacy. He's not. He's good at having photos taken with dictators.
I think that was good, because the thing is, he's so nuts that foreign dictators don't quite know what he's going to do, so they don't want to ruffle his feathers. And you're exactly right with Kim Jong-un. He stopped all the threats and the tests after that, and he's a threat to us all.
Yeah.
So I think the fact he's a bit nuts, Trump, scares dictators, because they know that we're not going to do anything. They know that Biden wouldn't do anything. But someone like Trump would say, right, okay.
But it is like having a very dangerous dog. You don't get burgled.
Yes, I know that.
You don't get burgled, but one day you get attacked by your own dog. That's the problem.
But what is Putin if he's not a hugely dangerous
dog?
Sure,
well, maybe the world. Listen, we're open-minded here about Trump, I think. Here's another angle from the interview. This is in the Times as well. And Trump's saying that he would consider deporting Prince Harry. Now, this is because Harry has admitted that he has taken drugs. And when you do an American visa, you've got to say you haven't, and therefore he'd lied. Have a look.
If he's lied on his visa form, doesn't the truth need to come out?
We'll have to.
Should he get special privileges that nobody else does?
No, and we'll have to see if they know something about the drugs, and if he lied, you'll have to take appropriate action.
Appropriate action?
Yeah.
Which might mean not staying in
I
America.
don't know. You'll have to tell me. You just have to tell me. You would have thought they would have known this a long time ago.
So this could be a very lively story.
But is he wrong about that? Why should Prince Harry get special privileges when no one else
Not saying
gets?
he's wrong. I think it will be a big story if Trump decides. Go on. I mean, it may be nothing to do with the president.
I think this is quite a funny kind of distraction. This is not going to come to anything. It would mean that every kind of rock band in the UK can't go on tour in America. You know, there are enormous numbers of people, I'm sure, who have done the same thing as Prince Harry. The difference is, you know, he has crowed about it in his book a little bit. this whole thing's a bit of a joke. He said to Nigel Farage, you tell me what appropriate action is. He's the president. He should know what appropriate action is.
He's not the president yet, but what else is he going to say?
If he's the president,
he's
yes.
not going to commit to doing anything. But I think what he said there will get more American people on side, because they're going to think, yeah, why should this privileged guy?
He used to be more pro-Harry, because I remember him saying when he was president, he said, I like Harry. As far as Meghan's concerned, I wish him luck.
Was he wrong there as well?
Well, he didn't like her, but he liked him. Now he doesn't like either of them. Jenny, in the Guardian.